Testing. Oh boy. Hey everybody, it's JJ, and I own Bright Idea Records, video games, and more, and CTTF Home Movies. And I was just thinking of making a cigarette and telling you guys why today is a nice day, even though I was ready to go postal. Like, once again, I know. I'm not just an angry white guy. I'm a chronic pain sufferer that is being neglected because nobody listens to me. And that's cool, man. But I'm also a first world citizen that happens to live in one of the United States. We have 50 of them. And mine allows people to own guns because we live right on the border. And that's a threat because it's not just a Mexico thing. It's a third world country thing. If Mexico was a first world nation, it wouldn't be a big deal to live next to Mexico. But because it is a third world nation, it should change its name to fucking Mexico, because it's a mess. And that's okay, because there are nice places in Mexico like Cancun and Baja and I don't know, but then there's places like, I don't know, isn't Culiacan a bad place? Or maybe I'm thinking of Tijuana or Nogales. Isn't there places like Sonora that are pretty fucking third world? And yeah, I know, if you move out into the middle of the desert, it's in the United States of America where there's no population. If you go camping, it might get a little bit third worldy, but you're about, like, gee, I don't know, maybe 100 miles away from first world, once again. And it's the fact of the matter is along the border, it's always been third worldy as long as I've known it. And if it's not third world anymore along the border on the Mexican side, then tell me why so many blue pills get across the border. Gee, I don't know. Maybe they get across the border because of all of the slaughter. You guys saw that Twitter post I made where there's like headless, like there's heads. Like somebody emptied a bag of heads at like the airport or something to make a statement. And that's pretty scary. That's enough to make me not want to fucking go on an airplane. And if people don't ride airplanes, that's kind of third worldy, isn't it? It's kind of weird. And so what? What can we do about it? Like the Mexican military is pushed to its limits, fighting the narco threat or whatever, because it's it's stronger and powerful than the government itself, and that's why they call it a narco state. Well, gee, maybe if people didn't have to buy illegal drugs to live, it wouldn't be that way. Maybe if we could just, like, lessen up our stranglehold on the drug supply with the drug war. The Zero Tolerance Task Force had a song called Buy American, and it goes, so buy American, LSD, crystal meth, and send some me in. And you might be getting freaked out and scared because you hate tweakers, or maybe you're some kind of tweaker and you hate hippies. And that doesn't even matter, because however you feel about the drugs, the fact of the matter is, if you let people in America make them, they make the money and they put it into the American economy. And that was the whole point of that song. And you know it because, spoiler alert, when Fred says, so why buy cocaine and such un-American drugs and support such un-American activities as, what was it? When you support such un-American activities as the CIA, the Colombian drug cartels, and when you could be supporting the hard-working Americans here at home, where you can keep an eye on them, and like if they get out of control, like some kind of a, I don't know, organized crime mafia, which, by the way, still exists over in Japan. They allow the Yakuza to exist, and they exist pridefully, because in a logical nation, people are logical enough to know that if you make laws, there's going to be people that capitalize on it, okay? And it's better to be friends with them than to try to eliminate them, because the enemy of the enemy is my friend and the blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know, laws are more like guidelines. And I'm an anarchist, and I shouldn't even say that. But I'm a peace seeker. I would prefer peace over anarchy. I would. I would always prefer peace over anarchy, man. But when things totally suck, sometimes you gotta tear them down and restructure them all from the ground up. Is that the term? Oh, I feel good. God damn, I'm so glad I took a pain pill instead of going postal. It sucks that it's an illegal one, but my country is so head up the ass right now. I've had to go 16 months without the proper medication that they got me strung out on in the first place. What the fuck is that? Sup, Nature Squad? Not to mention Americans are sending all the guns over the border. Oh. Well, that is a different subject, but yeah, that can be a bad thing. It depends on where they're being sent. I don't want to talk about that. I'm talking about drugs. But yeah, even if America wasn't doing that, they make guns all over the place, like in Russia and Austria. I own a Glock, and I own a Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson is America. I prefer my Glock to the Smith & Wesson, and I'll bet, you know, whatever, dude. It's like the U.S. is trying to fund the right things, but the problem is when you don't live there, how do you really know if it's the right thing or not? Because you can't spy on them, and that's what I'm trying to say about the drug war, is that, hey, man, if the drug agencies could tolerate drugs that much, like the underground market, like if you're not willing to legalize things like, I don't know, Schedule 1 class drugs like crystal meth, heroin, and LSD, those are all Schedule 1, and what? Oh, so is marijuana. Still to this day, yet it is being tolerated to the point where people can go to a store and buy it. I got one 5 minutes away, and I'd like to go buy a fucking joint just to chill the fuck out, but I'm gonna put on another 20 pounds if I do, so that's not the right medication for my problem at all. But yeah, the guns, I believe in gun control, and I say that as a fucking gun owner. I believe in gun control because I control my gun. Do you control your gun? That's pretty steady. I'm flexing my muscles, and I have a sight right here. You see those two dots? And you see this dot? I know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to do anything reckless. I'm going to do something deliberate. Even if going postal is that thing, it's going to be a slaughterhouse, because I know what I'm doing. And I don't want to go postal, motherfucker. That's what's up, is you're scared of the wrong things. You think fentanyl is the threat, when in actuality, illegal fentanyl is the threat. Fentanyl is a medication. And if everybody knew the schedules, Schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, okay, I said crystal meth was Schedule 1. It's actually Schedule 2. I forgot. And so is cocaine, because cocaine can be used as a numbing agent in a surgical procedure. All right? So please forgive me. I didn't mean to group crystal meth and cocaine in the Schedule 1 category. Apparently, heroin is Schedule 1 last time I checked. And that is supposed to be the scourge of the universe. And I guess it is, but I'll bet there's plenty of Chinese people, not Chinese Americans. You know, opium and heroin, or poppies, you know, they've existed for eternity as far as I know, and the Chinese have made use of them for 2,000 years, and just like any other substance, it can be abused. I mean, Cheetos can be abused. We have an obesity thing, and Michelle Obama, First Lady, she attempted to address the problem in a very practical manner and actually made a difference. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you take a practical approach. And this means so much to me. I haven't even made my cigarette yet because I can see the wrong things with my own two eyes and hear them with my two ears, because luckily I haven't lost my vision and I haven't lost my ability to hear. But if things keep going the way they're going, I'm gonna go postal and lose my fucking life. And it's just ridiculous. And today is a day to celebrate because we had a ceasefire. And that means that 4 people, I think I heard, got killed. And somehow, miraculously, somebody said, gee, time out. Wait, 4 people is too much. Let's talk about this. That's the thing about a ceasefire, is it leads to peace talks. And you're never going to have peace without the peace talks. And that's like not toxic peace. I'm talking like as in what I'm doing right now. And let's see, Warren. Yeah, right? No, please. It's not easy being cheesy. I've said it on many, many streams. It's not easy being cheesy. So it's not fair to commit a war on Cheetos. But it is fair to inform people that Cheetos can be abused and possibly deadly if you don't lower your cholesterol, or if you're more than 25% body mass of the so-called cellulite. If you're more than, I think, 25%, it's deadly. And it's really easy to get there. I'm there right now. Like when I was 20 pounds lighter, I think my body mass is something like 17% cellulite, which is not deadly. And that was a nice place to be. But now that I smoked marijuana and gained 20 pounds, I'm back in the deadly weight range and I can't breathe. And I don't know if it's because of the obesity or the fact I can't get an ephedrine pill, even if I suck a dick. Because people don't sell ephedrine pills on the black market. They use ephedrine pills to make the crystal meth, but they also use the ephedrine pill. How about Sudafed? That's for allergies. I've tested positive for Sudafed and been kicked out of my fucking pain clinic where I used to be under control and never postal. And I'm not postal right now. I'm irate at how stupid you all are. Not you, Nature Squad. I'm talking about the people that support bad leadership because they're too busy to notice that they have bad leadership. And how do you fix bad leadership? By letting them know that they are leading badly. Because if they think that they are leading well, if they think they're doing the right job, they're not going to know that they're totally ruining a generation of innocent children. Man, that's what's up. And I'm speaking out because, God damn it, I'm an expert on the subject of being addicted to fentanyl. Oh, I'm not scared. Why are you scared? God damn it, it's not the fucking drug, it's the illegality of it mixed with the ignorance. It's naivety mixed with ignorance. The naivety is in the form of, oh, I'm bored, I want something to do. Want to try fentanyl? Okay, that's the naivety. But the ignorance would prevent them. If they could avoid the ignorance, that situation would go, boy, I sure am bored. Hey, you want to try some fentanyl, some blue pills? Nah. So that's exactly what I said to that poor strung out girl when I went to buy the whippets from the smoke shop the other day. I said no thank you because I'm not ignorant. I have a lot of experience with this subject, and you couldn't pay me to go near a blue pill. That's the most ridiculous idea that a young person could have, because with illegal drugs, they always get cut and they are not pure. And you might say, oh, well, that's good because a pure drug will kill you. And it's like, yes and no, because what are they being cut with? That's the very reason why people were dying from fentanyl, was because their drugs were being cut with fentanyl, because it's cheap to make, man, and it keeps you strung out. Cocaine is not that cheap to make, from what I understand. Like, you got to do a refining process, and it takes a lot of people, because the demand for the fucking cocaine is like pretty through the roof. And I have never enjoyed a cocaine high, but guess what? Rich people love to buy cocaine because they like to throw around their money, and they like to be the cool person at the party when people are partying. And it's like, you gotta do it, otherwise you'll be the odd man out when everybody else is jibbity 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 jab 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 jab. It's like, if you can manage to exhale and blow the, if you've got one line and you can just like go, if somebody gives you a free one and you just blow out like that, you can avoid having to do that shit. Because all it does to me is make my heart race like I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. I don't need that shit. And my old man, he got a little bit wrapped up in it, because I think everybody knows that the rock band, the hit rock band known for such hits as Going Up the Country, Let's Work Together, and Amphetamine Annie were heavily involved in cocaine. Gee, how do you know that? It's public knowledge, people. So my old man was appealing to their better interests by making a song, a hit song that goes, things go better with Coca-Cola, things go better with Coke. Gee, yeah, he's basically a songwriter, and he's basically trying to conform to stupid ideas and popular trends that are killing people. And also, that was basically the downfall of Canned Heat, when Skip, or was it Skip that got busted with the coke? I forget. I had that on my YouTube, the documentary where Fito de la Parra, the drummer that has been an original core member since the beginning, explained it in every detail, minutely, but it got removed from my stupid fucking YouTube channel because of a copyright complaint. Ridiculous. I'm sharing very important information about how to stay alive, and it gets removed because of some kind of a copyright thing, because the music industry is trying to make up for lost profits. Because guess what? BitTorrent and all that, it kind of affected them. And even though, like, you know, whatever, you know, the iTunes, right, and the Google Play Store, even though that was an option, they were still getting pretty beat up by the BitTorrent. And guess what? You can still get a lot of stuff on the BitTorrent. It's called the Computer Underground, and it will never go away. And even if you try to make it go away, dark web, hello, encrypted internet, you can't ever make the underground go away. You can't ever make the black market go away. So maybe you should just let it exist and try to be cool with it, because laws are just guidelines to keep people from dying. Naive people. And the experts should be allowed to break the fucking law and not have to do years in prison like my young singer has had to do. Young, black, proud man, talented singer, locked behind bars for the best years of his life for stealing beer and cigarettes. Yeah, fuck the drug war, dude. I'm gonna make a cigarette because I just said cigarette and I really have needed one. That's kind of why my attitude is piss poor. Pardon me a second. I'll check the chat room as soon as I got this. But it's like, dude, it's like you gotta connect the dots and you gotta listen when somebody has already connected them for you. Like as if it's a how-to text file. Where did I put my tobacco? Oh, my phone's off the hook. That's weird. I guess I got a little too worked up and I should put this back on the arm of the chair. But it's ridiculous, the bad leadership that we have, especially with regards to the so-called drug war, because the drug war is not a war against drugs, it's a war against people, and it's people that pay the price, man, on all sides. People that obey the law and people that choose, because we live in a free country, you can choose to break the law, and yes, you will face the penalties. That's what freedom is it's a risk that you're willing to take. Every time you get in your car and go to work, it's a terrible risk. You could have a deadly accident, man. And even if you wear your seatbelt, that's a safety precaution, man. It doesn't guarantee that you're gonna keep your life, okay? But the fact of the matter is, you should, because, hey, man, it's one of the few safety precautions you can take when you get inside your four-wheeled death trap. But the fact is, our society, especially before COVID-19 lockdown, essentially required you to own a car, get into a car, or at least take the bus. Yeah, if you're willing to sacrifice a very large portion of your day. And I know how people feel about that because I own a car and I obey the speed limit, but nobody else does. They're in a hurry to live their free lives, aren't they? And for a good reason. They got people depending on them, like their wife and their kids, or their husband and their kids, or their transistor and their kids. Yeah, I invented that term today, transistor. I'm glad I remembered that. I think it's a term of respect that you can show for your brothers and sisters and transistors. Anyways, I was going to submit it to the Urban Dictionary, but I've been having a rough day. Still, though, yeah, man, people are in a hurry to live their lives, and they break the law all the time by speeding, and that is a risk that they choose to take. And sometimes they get a ticket, and sometimes they get more than a ticket, and that's a risk they're willing to take. So acknowledging the fact that illegal activity exists and tolerating it to a point prevents it from escalating to an out-of-control exponential avalanche of force, because people have to defend themselves, but only up to a certain point. You know why I own so many guns? Because I'm scared. Wouldn't it be nice if I didn't feel like owning so many of these? I've been known to break a law or two. You can look at it on the Internet Archive. I hacked the record label called Music Video Distributors, and I didn't do any damage because I'm not a malicious person. Although I tried to tell them about their security vulnerabilities by calling the guy Ed Seaman himself to address the issue. And I said, dude, I need to talk to you. I've been a friend of yours for a long time because I made a TV show called Underground Music Videos on public access television. Me and my buddy Bill Almec. Does that name ring a bell? And he's like, no, but are you related to this one project? Because I'm working with somebody that has a thing with the Internet Archive right now. And I'm like, no, bro, I'm independent, and I need to tell you something, but it's confidential because it involves, well, it involves your company and your internet, and it's like confidential. You know, computer security vulnerabilities, you're supposed to keep them under wraps. You're not supposed to just say over the phone, a non-encrypted phone line, you're not supposed to divulge all the vulnerabilities over a clear text unencrypted connection. And I tried to make sure that he had time, and he's like, look, I got a project. I'm trying to make money. I'm not concerned about the people that depend on him. They're called clients. You know, all the artists that need a distributor for their goods. Yeah, man, if he fucks up, it affects them. And even though I'm not one of them, I love them like as if they were my own children, like the youth of America, man. So I take computer security pretty seriously. I take automobile security pretty seriously. I take medication and illicit substance security pretty fucking seriously, because it's being done badly and it's costing lives. You people think you have internet security, but I still haven't made a cigarette. That's how serious I take it. You think you're getting internet security these days because you gotta jump through a million fucking hoops just to get past the password box. And it's like, guess what? A password box is good enough. And those little things, those CAPTCHA click-through things, don't prove anything. And that was my joke earlier about being from outer fucking space, man. Yeah, I'm a space alien, and I'm cackling, laughing, making a joke about your human check CAPTCHAs. Yeah, dude. I'm not. Do you know how many times I've been accused of being a bot because I'm a computer security researcher, and also I type fast. So sometimes I double quote. I do a literal search. Where's my goddamn tobacco? I will do a literal search for something like a version of a particular software daemon that might run on a server, right? And because of something, if I look that up a couple times over, I've got to jump through hoops that require me to waste my precious time on planet Earth in my linear existence that goes from start to finish. You're making my life slower by clogging it up, and I can hack you still because I'm an expert. And I don't even have to social engineer you because I am not a liar. I've never wanted to use that technique. I mean, every once in a while, I bang my head against the wall because I can't get in. But all I got to do is try harder, and then I get in. It's pretty easy. The computer security, it needs work, and it doesn't all relate to passwords and human checks. And the whole SSL fucking TLS version 1.2 and above thing is great. It's good to have strong encryption, but that just ensures that no one's gonna man in the middle you. Guess what? I can man in the middle you all day long, all week long, if I get root on your fucking box. And that's still just as easy as it ever was. So why are you making it more difficult for me to check my goddamn email? This world is fucked up. Head up the ass. And the only people it really hurts are like mostly the poor and the naive or ignorant. If you don't have enough money to have the newest fucking smartphone to do your 2FA authentication, and guess what, baby? I smashed mine to pieces because I have post-traumatic stress and survivor guilt, and when the police called me 3 times in a row because a poor girl addicted to fentanyl blues probably got arrested. And also I was thinking of my singer. What if I needed to testify on my young black singer's behalf because he spent the best years of his life in like Maricopa prison and La Paz County up in Yuma? Like, I have to be cool with the police even though I'm not afraid to call them pigs because they can't hurt me. They can't touch me. I obey the law, and when I break it, I don't get caught. God damn it! I can't believe people lose their lives over the mismanagement of things like law enforcement and the very laws. You know how many end user license agreements I've had to agree to in my not that long of lifetime? I'll turn middle aged when I turn 45 in about 2 years. But in my short, like 42 years on planet Earth, practically every end user agreement that I've ever agreed to goes over my head because I am not an attorney. I am not a lawyer. And even the open source ones that are totally liberating, such as an Apache license, an MIT license, a BSD license, like, dude, even those go over my head. A GNU license, they all go over my head. I'm not a lawyer. All I can do is agree to them if I want to use the product. And I usually try to curtail the agreement because I'm an elite hacker and I know how to, bypass that. Usually if I got the binary, and especially if I got the source code, if I have the source code, I will just remove that part. That's one of my favorite ways to get around the end user license agreement. So legally speaking, I haven't agreed to a lot of these things in a long time. I refuse. I am not complicit in your abuse of the people. In the United States of America, it's for the people and by the people. Not so much these days, dude. I'd say it's for the rich, powerful, corrupt, and totally in control motherfuckers. Definitely not the people. And that's what a public access guy would tell you. And I am a public access guy. My name's Sot the Avenger. I run video games and more. My name's JJ Baker. I produce video games and more. My name's JJ Baker. I produce ZTTF home movies. My name is... Yeah, I'm shouting. Whoa! I got too much stuff in my doorway because I'm under medicated. Can I help me? Yeah. Do you know how pissed off my mom is at me right now? She gave me a death look. Oh shit! And I just made a bigger mess. My drink is all over the floor. Bad move, Mom. Bad move. You should support me. Even when I call them pigs, the law enforcement, because guess what? All they do is, there's still a little bit in here. I'm not afraid of them because they take orders. And I don't think the leadership would order the pigs to fuck with me because I'm a law-abiding citizen and I'm worried to death about the innocent, the naive, and the poor to the point my chest hurts. And I'm so under-medicated, I'm just about ready to flip my lid. So I'm sorry you're a coward, Mom, but I can't take this shit no more. And if you want to start a fight about it, let's do it democratically and debate it. But I'm in the middle of a stream. I'm in the middle of making my point, and you can't interrupt my flow of thought because it's called a flow of consciousness. And I'm just about done because I can't breathe. That pisses me off when she doesn't support me. You know, oh God. I think I could vomit. I don't have enough oxygen in me. Now, that would be embarrassing. That would be regrettable. God damn it. Doesn't anybody get it? My own mother doesn't get it. Why should I expect anybody else to get it? Because you're on the internet and you use it better than my mom. That's why. You use the internet better than me because I'm poor. I don't have the option of using it as good as you. I smashed my piece of shit overheating phone to pieces because I couldn't get in touch with the police and it freaked me out. I need to talk to them. Somebody's freedom is at risk. Man, that's a big deal. Some people call you a snitch. I don't want to snitch because I know how to use the Fifth Amendment, baby. I don't have to snitch, but I do have to defend my people. I can't take this abuse of power anymore. And that dumb bitch ain't gonna stop me. She used to do World Unity Productions, and she hit a wall. You know what the wall is called? Democracy and a lazy, selfish, self-absorbed constituency. And she's one of them now. Just like I'm pretty sure everybody except for Nature Squad. I'm pretty sure me and Nature Squad are the last two non-lazy constituents in America. Motherfuckers. Where's my tobacco? I can't believe she'd look at me that way. You know what? I got a death look too, and it's twice as deadly. 'Cause I got this, motherfucker. I'll fucking waste a bitch. My own stupid mother, because she's a poser. She's a fucking poser. She raised me to be a freedom-fighting, freedom-loving motherfucker! And I'll fuck her up! I'll fuck that mother up! Fuck her! I know what's right! God damn it! And I'm not afraid to say it because of this! I've never hurt a person, ever! But I know they've hurt me! They fractured my fucking orbital bone when I didn't have one of those! Oh! My chest hurts! Ah! It hurts. I can't breathe. Ah! I swear to God. Ah! This is regrettable. Ah! I just don't know what to do because I don't care if I live or die. My quality of life is so low these days. It's like, can you please kill me? I don't like the way this feels, though. I wish it would just kill me already. This chest pain, I don't know what it is. I took my blood pressure, and it was so perfect. My blood pressure, I've been taking these fuckers. These fuckers, man. And my blood pressure is under control. Yet I feel like I could have a heart attack. Because this shit can't go on anymore. People are losing their lives 2 at a time just from the fentanyl in my sleepy desert town. I'm gonna try to cut her some slack because she's old and stupid, but she wasn't in her bathrobe. She was dressed like a person on the street, and that indicates to me that you're wide awake and that you should be able to pay attention to my words. You gotta listen to them as opposed to just hearing them. Even Ozzy Osbourne could tell you that. You gotta listen to my words, man. You can't microscopically analyze them one at a time and go, yes, yes, yes. No, I don't like that word. That's stupid. You gotta listen until the paragraph is over. Otherwise, you don't really have a true opinion on anything. You're just another loudmouth windbag that isn't satisfied. Why don't you go talk about it on Rotten Tomatoes, you loudmouth windbag? Instead of fucking up democracy for the rest of us. I gotta go, guys. I'm gonna have a heart attack if I keep ranting like this. It's really, I got way too much to rant.